Unless one has realized peace within, where else can one find it? So this is telling you, peace dwells within you at the core of your being. So for each of us, the question is, am I allowing the peace that I am to unfold itself in my thoughts, in my feelings, in my words, in my actions? Am I allowing myself to live in the frequency of peace? I alone can give that gift to myself. How incredible, and what a gift to give to myself. So today, this very day, in this now moment, I choose to create peace for myself. And I choose to let that current of energy of peace be so pure that it expands. It fills my heart, it fills my body, it fills my mind, it fills my life. And then guess what will happen? You will notice you are living in a peaceful world. Good morning, welcome. 1,000 welcomes to you all. And we are meditating today on a wonderful topic, power to change. Peace is yours. And so both of those phrases come from Swami Nityananda, who founded our meditation community. And you heard Acharya Pramadas mention, our community was founded by Swami Nityananda November 3rd, 1974. So it's almost 50 years, which is absolutely incredible to think about the purity of heart and consciousness and conduct and joy and generosity and aliveness that has been here in Baltimore for 50 years, and that we're all part of that. And many of the karma yogis who have made this possible, we might not ever know their names, but thanking them all, because their true pure hearts are part of what we are. And for all of the karma yogis and meditators who are here now, thanking you all, because your true pure hearts are part of that expanding, magnificent love. And no effort is ever lost. So please be aware of that. That is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. So what this means is that all of the love of your being makes an incredible difference right now and also ongoingly. So for this lifetime, this now moment is the most powerful point of creativity right now. So no matter what we have experienced in the past, we might have experienced a lifetime of sadness. There are humans who do. Now, I can choose to change that consciousness, that energy, now, in this very moment now. And that's what this teaching from Swami Nityananda says. Since I'm responsible for every reaction I have to life, that means I have the power to change my reactions. When do you suffer? The moment you forget that there's only one power, and that's all God power. So long as you don't know yourself, you're going to suffer. So long as I don't know myself, I believe that there's something other than myself that determines how I feel. So power to change, peace is yours. What this is telling us is, I get to create my thoughts, my feelings, my energy, my consciousness, my response, my sovereignty in time and space in relation to whatever I experience. So one of the ways to translate the word Swami is one who is sovereign of oneself. And this is just a reminder for all of us. This is the invitation for all of us. The Buddha says the intention is always, how may I master myself? It's never, how may I master other humans? It's never, how may I master the wind or the waters? It's always, how may I master my own emotional energy, my own thoughts, my own responses? And so the word Swami is just a reminder to all of us, I have this ability to be sovereign of my own choices, my own thoughts, my own words, my own feelings, my own actions. When I gain that sovereignty, peace is mine. So the next part of what we're meditating on, he says, peace is yours. He says, find love in the heart, and then you see it everywhere. There's only love. Love is present in every moment. Eternal knowledge comes from within. Peace is yours to give to yourself. How freeing is that? Peace is yours to give to yourself. It's with you. It is your own awareness, your own realization, your own ability to free yourself of all reactivity. And so I'll share a couple of entry points, some sacred teachings, and then some invitations on how we each can live this realization in our daily life. The Bhagavad Gita says this: one who is free from attachment and aversion while living in the world of sense objects realizes peace. In peace, all sorrow ceases, and the peaceful mind soon becomes established on the self, self with a capital S. Unless one has realized peace within, where else can one find it? So this is telling you, peace dwells within you at the core of your being. So for each of us, the question is, am I allowing the peace that I am to unfold itself in my thoughts, in my feelings, in my words, in my actions? Am I allowing myself to live in the frequency of peace? I alone can give that gift to myself. How incredible, and what a gift to give to myself. So today, this very day, in this now moment, I choose to create peace for myself. And I choose to let that current of energy of peace be so pure that it expands. It fills my heart, it fills my body, it fills my mind, it fills my life. And then guess what will happen? You will notice you are living in a peaceful world. You will notice you are surrounded and filled by peaceful, gorgeous energy. You will notice that even the random people you meet on the elevator, they respond to you in this energy of peace and gorgeousness. And so this is a gift that we give ourselves, but then this frequency of peace that we are creating for ourselves also shares itself with everyone we encounter. Welcome. I'm Swami Nityananda. If you are enjoying this talk, we invite you to like, share, and subscribe. We also invite you to subscribe to our free newsletter on Substack, available at the link below this video. Thank you for being the joy that you are. The Buddha teaches something very similar, and so this is from the Bhagavad Gita, from the Dhammapada. I just shared the teaching from the Bhagavad Gita, which is very similar. Irrigators direct water. Arrowsmiths straighten arrows. Carpenters shape wood to their design. Wise humans master themselves. As a solid rock stands firm in the wind, wise humans remain unmoved by praise or blame. As a deep lake remains still and clear, so do wise humans, listening to the teachings, attain a serene mind. And then I think you'll love this next phrase from the Buddha. Let the wise human shun the cauldron of confusion and proceed on the path of light. And so you can see there's so much wisdom, but also so much good humor in that teaching as well. Just notice, over the course of the last week, did you have an invitation to dive into the cauldron of confusion? I see people nodding. So, did you choose to accept that invitation? This is the question that each of us is always inviting ourselves to ask. The invitation is there. It goes with being human. The teachings from the Bhagavad Gita make this clear. The Bhagavad Gita says there are two paths through this world. One is the path of illumination in wisdom. If we take that path, we're choosing self-liberation. The other path is the path of ignorance and darkness. If we take that path, we're choosing self-limitation. So this just says humans have this choice to make. And so don't worry about any other humans and what choices they're making. Remember, this is back to, am I being sovereign over my own choices? Am I loving myself so much that if I notice, that's a big old cauldron of confusion right there, am I shunning it? The Buddha says, if you're wise, you will not dive head first into the cauldron of confusion. He says, instead, you will proceed on the path of light. And so just notice, those are the choices: cauldron of confusion, path of light. And here's what happens if we choose the path of light. If we choose the path of light, we unfold that consciousness, that energy, that frequency of peace, no matter what it is that we experience in time and space. And so I'll share with you a teaching that Swami Shankarananda lived, not only with his words, but also with his being, with his life. And this goes back to 2013, and he had undergone major surgery on his lungs, and he was recovering. So he was in this process of healing from that surgery. And he said to everyone in the community, "Do you know pain and weakness? I am no stranger to these." And then he demonstrated with his life that even if the human body knows pain and knows weakness, it is possible in that moment to acknowledge, I'm in a hospital bed right now. I'm recovering from major surgery to my lungs. The human body is feeling pain and weakness. Total non-resistance, non-judgment, no blame, no reactivity. In this moment, the source of strength is with me. In this moment, the energy that pours into the sun and the moon and the stars and the earth, it is with me. This energy of support is present in every breath that I take, every moment that my heart beats. This life is a gift that is given to me by the source of all that is. And the source of all that is, as I open to it, is able to flow incredible strength into the body, so that the body is capable of recovering and functioning miraculously and achieving things that human doctors might say are impossible to achieve. And I would actually say Swami Shankarananda demonstrated that as well. So again, if you find yourself, and I'm starting to respond to a query from a sincere, pure-hearted human who wrote and said, I'm in a situation where my living situation might be changing in a non-preferred way. What do I do? How do I help myself? So take this example of Swami Shankarananda, someone who is living sovereignty. That's a non-preferred situation from a human perspective. Lying in a hospital bed, recovering from major surgery to your lungs, feeling pain and weakness. Practice non-judgment for yourself. I love myself in this moment. I love myself no matter what it is that the human body is experiencing. I am connected to the source of all the wisdom and all the love and all the strength in this universe. In the midst of this, what would I like to feel? In the midst of this, what would I like to focus on? Would I like to focus on how magnificent and expanding divine love is in this very moment? Would I like to focus on how much I love the energy of support and all the forms of support that are coming to me in this very moment? Would I like to fill my heart to overflowing with gratitude and love and appreciation? It's amazing. This is the divine divining itself through me in this moment. No matter what condition my physical body is in, the divine is divining itself through me. I am expanding the sum total knowledge and awareness and wisdom and love that is available to everyone on the planet as I choose to respond with non-judgment, non-blaming, connecting to the source of the solution. So for each of us, no matter what our situation is, it might be preferred, it might be non-preferred, notice and appreciate what you do like. Notice and appreciate what you do love. If something comes to you, Swami Shankarananda demonstrated this, he took full responsibility for everything. There was no blame. There was no judgment. There was, this is being presented to me. How would I like to respond? What would I like to think and feel in the midst of what is being presented to me in time and space? And do you see what happens then? There's no struggle. There's no resistance. There's no opposition. And so what happens then is universal energy and life force and love and support and inspiration and wisdom comes to you. And there is a flourishing of love. There is a flourishing of support. There is a flourishing of what is real. So for anyone who has a living situation you like or that you don't like, focus on what you do like. Focus on, I love quiet. I love peace. I love harmony. I love the ability to meditate. I love being surrounded and filled by beautiful energy. I love the opportunity to relax, whatever it is that you like. I love that there are trees out of my window. I love the neighborhood that I'm in. Focus on that. And as you focus on what you do like, the algorithm that is the universe responds to you, and it notices that's what this person is focusing on. So I don't know if you know this, but what you put in your search engine of your computer, the algorithm is always noticing what you're searching for, and it will send you more of the same. It will be like, oh, that person likes this. I'm going to send them more of the same. The whole universe writ large functions in that same way. So if you are noticing, how does it feel when strength is present within me? How does it feel when I am loved? I am supported. I feel steady within myself. I feel secure within myself because I know who I am. I know the eternal truth of my being. I know I am not this extremely wonderful but extremely tiny human body that is experiencing whatever this human body is experiencing. I am as vast as limitless consciousness. And so see if you also can zoom out. That's what the Buddha is. One who is awake. One who is awake has gone beyond identifying with any finiteness. Can you imagine? That's the true nature of each of us. No finiteness. Consciousness with no words added, no thoughts added. Consciousness that is completely pristine and free and clear and pure, no modifications. That's what each of us is. And so the aspect of ourselves that has focalized ourselves into this wonderful, beautiful, tiny human body can find it all too easy to think this is it. So you're letting go of identifying with limitation. You're letting go of identifying with pain. You're letting go of identifying with sadness. You're letting go of identifying with weakness. You're also letting go of identifying with any human experiences that make you feel strong or amazing. You're saying that's an aspect of what my eternal, expanded, awake, completely limitless being is able to experience in time and space. That's not the truth of my being. And so come back to what the Buddha says. He says, as a solid rock stands firm in the wind, wise humans remain unmoved by praise or blame. They know themselves. And so they can notice, oh, that person just called me a warthog. And they can practice self-examination. Am I being a warthog? Like with innocent inquiry. And if the answer is yes, then self-correct and amend. And if the answer is no, then quietly, with non-oppositional awareness, confirm, I know the truth of my being. I'm not a warthog. I'm lovely. I'm kind. I'm aware. I'm generous. And that person is expressing something about how they're feeling in this moment. But I also don't need to attach them to that expression. And I also don't need to identify them with that experience in this particular moment. And that's what the Buddha says at the very top. I know people join midstream. At the very top, I shared that the Buddha says that in the core of every being is awake energy. The same awake energy that is in the Buddha is in every being. And he also says it takes spiritual maturity to see this. And he says it takes awake vision to see this. So for each of us, we're awakening our vision. And Swami Nityananda used the metaphor of laser vision. It can take laser vision to look past the confusion that a human might be experiencing and see that deeper than that, at the core of their being, is this pure heart, this true heart. And I will also acknowledge, I am sharing something from Swami Shankarananda's prayer that we read today. He says, there's only one will, divine will. Whatever appears as an individual's will is not God's will when the individual will rises out of the ego level or is action opposed to purity, selflessness, or love. So he's saying discernment is always required for each of us. For myself, for any being, individually the practice is, may I choose only what is pure, selfless, loving. May I choose only what is divine will. May I let go of what is ego will. And he's saying you will still have clarity. If a person is choosing something other than that, you'll have clarity. They are free to make those choices. It's actually not possible to interrupt their freedom. They will meet the consequences of the choices they make, just as everyone meets the consequences of the choices that we make. And so one of the other ways to put this is, each of us is always creating for ourselves a dwelling place in consciousness. And so I would like to invite us to keep meditating on that. What is my predominant dwelling place in consciousness? In what energy do I predominantly dwell in consciousness? What are the predominant thoughts that I think? What are the predominant words that I speak? What are the predominant choices that I make? And you're not self-judging if you have a stray thought every now and then that you prefer not to energize and you let it go. You bless it and you let it go. But you're saying for yourself, in some ways, the most important thing that we're creating is this consciousness in which I'm dwelling. And so for yourself to cultivate, what is the consciousness in which I am dwelling? This is back to the question of a physical dwelling place. The consciousness in which I dwell is actually the primary motive energy that will flow into my physical dwelling place. So my primary point of creation is within. It's in consciousness. So I choose to dwell in a consciousness of peace. I choose to dwell in a consciousness of the earth is beautiful and good, and this beautiful, good earth supports me. I choose to dwell in a consciousness of I am surrounded by true, pure-hearted humans. And look at you all, how amazing you are. Pure, true-hearted humans, the more that you notice how beautiful it is to interact with true, pure-hearted humans, the more pure-hearted humans will interact with you. And you'll be giving people permission to be in that energy as you are simply there. You'll do this silently through your frequency, through the vibration, through the awareness that you are living. And so the other thing that I would say, besides that question of what is the consciousness in which I am dwelling, and how may I choose thoughts that help me live in the consciousness that I would love to dwell in, how may I speak words and make choices that help me live in the consciousness in which I dwell. The other thing that I would say is if you can give yourself a sense of neutrality, so non-judgmental awareness and clarity. When the Bhagavad Gita talks about being free from attachment and aversion while living in the world of sense objects, you will still have preferences. Like you'll still be choosing foods and you'll choose one food rather than another, right? So that happens. But what this teaching is saying is let go of there being energetic charge in relation to those things. So you have a pleasant experience from a human perspective, neutrally witness and observe it. And it's fine to give the source energy that is within you gratitude and appreciation and say, I love it when I have pleasant interactions with humans. I love it when kindness is flowed back to me because kindness is the energy in which I live and move and breathe and have my being. It's great. But if you encounter someone and they are abrupt, just notice it in a neutral, non-judgmental way. And say to yourself, do I want to create more of that? If the answer is no, then you can just bless it and let it go. And choose what you would like to create more of. And in this way, what you're doing is you are exhibiting what Swami Shankarananda exhibited, which is self-sovereignty. It's always, am I choosing the thoughts that are consistent with my spiritual ideal? Am I choosing the words that are consistent with my spiritual ideal? Am I choosing the actions that are consistent with my spiritual ideal? And as I do this, my spiritual ideal is with me. The energy of my spiritual ideal becomes visible in time and space. It's magnetic, it's irresistible, it's fun, it's dynamic, it's like a divine dance. The other thing, which I will just share in closing, this week I had the joy of drafting a description of a book by Swami Nityananda, which we're in the process of publishing. And the book is more than 600 pages. It's a comprehensive sharing of his teachings, and it makes me cry with gratitude. Like, it's just a temple of light. It is so amazing. So I drafted a description, and then I was resting, doing something else, and then I just started crying because I realized that all of it comes down to this, all of it. Am I creating my true, pure heart? That's it. You all are creating your true, pure heart. Everything is here. Swami Nityananda said that in 2014. He said, everything is here. It is so beautifully visible in you. You are creating your true, pure heart. That is with you always. That is with you for this lifetime, but that contributes to absolute, magnificent, unconditional love that is available for everyone on the planet. That contributes to the energy of healing. That contributes to the energy of joy. That contributes to the energy of generosity. That frequency allows people to walk in this door and to feel that current of joy, that current of kindness, that current of awareness that allows a lifetime of sadness to melt away. You are doing that. You are being that. That is what you are. It is incredible. The other thing is that this true, pure heart that you are creating right now never leaves you. It never lets you go. It is with you every moment of your time in this embodiment, and it is with you always. And so when the Buddha says, when you choose righteousness, you dwell in happiness and peace here and hereafter, that's what he's talking about. It's a basic law of energy. As you are your own true pure heart, that stays with you forever. And so every time you meditate, every time you practice karma yoga, every time you choose, what is it that I do want to create? What is it that I do like? What is it that I do love? What is it that I do honor? What is it that I do cherish? What is it that I do adore? How may I share what is highest and best in this very moment? You are elevating yourself. You are uplifting yourself, not only for this lifetime, but across lifetimes. And as you do that, you actually elevate. Lahiri says you bless your ancestors 7 generations back, 7 generations forward. What an incredible gift that you are giving yourself every time you choose to respond with that loving awareness, that awake heart, that clarity, that peace, that kindness, and you choose to create what you are. And thank you, because it is so magnificent. True, beautiful, pure hearts. Thank God, and God bless us all.